Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the most dangerous prisons in the United States. Now this should be an interesting one. I mean, based on what I know so far, there's one called Red Onion, I think in Virginia, that's like really bad. Like in terms of, everyone there is in solitary confinement. Like, whew, that must be tough. But other than that, I don't know if any of the, like San Quentin, I think in California, but I'm not sure if that's going to make it onto this list. So yeah, this video, like prisons and stuff like this, crime and punishment, is quite an interesting topic for me. So I know I'm going to be interested by this video. So let's do it.
You'll have trouble finding redemption in these Shawshanks. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most dangerous prisons in America. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at all-round danger in correctional facilities, detention centers, and jail penitentiaries. In addition to violence between prisoners, we're also considering guard behavior, prison health concerns, the notoriety of inmates and their crimes, the whole picture. We're also only considering active prisons, so you won't be seeing Alcatraz on this list.
When did they shut Alcatraz down? And why did they shut it down? Because it's so infamous, it must have been effective.
Number 10, Holman Correctional Facility. Located in Escambia County, Alabama, Holman is blessed with two horribly frightening nicknames: the Slaughterhouse and House of Pain.
Oh my
and
God.
Escambia's famous prison deserves its nicknames, with regular stabbings doled out to both inmates and correctional officers. In terms of Holman's most high-profile prisoner, that distinction goes to the late Bobby Frank Cherry, a member of the Ku Klux Klan, who carried out the horrific 1963 16th Street Baptist Church bombing that killed 4 African-American girls.
Sometimes I would tell people that bombing was a way of life in Birmingham.
Number 9, Orleans Parish Prison. The Big
Wow, look at all that barbed wire, man. Good luck climbing over that.
Easy isn't the most populous city, and Louisiana isn't the most populous state. However, this jailhouse has as many violent prisoners as any other. Violence reigns supreme at Orleans Parish Prison, the city correctional institution for New Orleans.
Man.
That's partly because of
What was he doing there? Heroin?
divides among prisoners, but also because its guards are notorious for
Whoa, how did he
ignoring
get-
incidents.
How did he
In
get...
1 year alone, 20
How on earth has he got a gun? Unless that's a fake one? Like, how did he get that into his cell? What the hell is going on here?
3 inmates were reportedly sent to the emergency room. But that number tends to fade into memory when you look at another statistic. Between 2006 and 2014, Orleans Parish Prison saw 44 inmate deaths. Number 8, Pelican Bay State Prison. The California prison system is heavily criticized. However, there's no denying the state experiences some of the worst gang violence in America. And some of the most notorious gang members are sent to Pelican Bay to carry out their sentences.
Oh my God.
Many think that's one reason why Pelican Bay has an ongoing problem with violence. But the setup of the prison is also to blame.
Man, that guy did not see it coming, man. He was just like looking around and then bang, bang.
Pelican is divided in 2, with the most dangerous inmates kept in the disreputable security housing unit. This building has no windows, and prisoners stay in their cells 22 hours a day.
Gosh.
Psychologists report that those in the cells frequently suffer from a condition similar to PTSD.
Not
Number
surprised.
7, Rikers Island.
Rikers. Yes, I've heard of Rikers Island a lot. This is in New York, isn't it? I've heard that prison guards, well, I'm not sure about now, but at least about 10, 20 years ago were probably, the most extremely violent towards inmates. This is what I've heard, allegedly.
Certainly one of the most notorious prisons in the world, Rikers is located on an island near the Bronx. Its roster of notable inmates includes Sid Vicious, Tupac Shakur, DMX, Lil Wayne, the son of Sam serial killer, and John Lennon's murderer. And while the prison may have a reputation for housing tough inmates, we've actually included it on this list because of its poor conditions. Many claim the Rikers guards victimized their inmates, with the New York Times being at the forefront of those allegations. Some of the stories that
$1.2 million $1.2 million city settlement with Rikers inmates who accused... I'm not even going to read that.
Have been discussed
Damn.
are truly horrific and unrepeatable.
Oh my
One thing's
gosh.
for sure, this is not a place you want to spend a single minute.
No thanks.
Number 6, Louisiana State Penitentiary, also known as Angola.
Angola.
Louisiana State Penitentiary is one of America's most storied prisons, but not for good reasons. Nicknamed the Alcatraz of the South, as well as the Farm, it's the largest maximum security prison in the nation. This institution is the epitome of a classic chain gang prison, so much so that it inspired the Green Mile.
What does chain gang, what does that mean? I've got no idea.
The prison has been steeped in violence, from riots to regular escape attempts that end in inmates being shot to death. Interior conditions are similarly dangerous. On more than one occasion, judges have labeled the Angola in a state of emergency for its awful living standard. Number 5, San Quentin State Prison.
California.
San Quentin is the oldest prison in the state of California. It's also Cali's only prison to house a death row for male prisoners. San Quentin has its own gas chamber, though
What?
since 1996, all executions have been carried out by lethal injection. Many infamous criminals have called San Quentin home, including Charles Manson and the freeway killer William Bonin. Its death row inmates and serial killers may give San Quentin a certain distinction. Unfortunately, it suffers the same problems as so many other California prisons: gang violence, racial tension, and chronic overcrowding, as well as understaffing.
Yeah, white collar, you know. I ain't programmed with them.
Number 4,
Man, I know that we need prisons because obviously we can't let criminals, you know, violent criminals anyway, mixed and mingle with the public. But I think we really need to increase how much rehabilitation we try and give them, because if they're going to be released at some point, if you don't rehabilitate them, they're just going to become hardened criminals. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we need to try and improve how we deal with these people.
Folsom State Prison.
Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay.
Way back in 1955, Johnny Cash knew of Folsom's big problems, but even though he brought them into the public eye, things never seemed to change. In fact, they got worse. Folsom's problems were at their most terrifying in the 70s and 80s, when the prison gang violence scene was at its worst. Overcrowding doesn't help, and Folsom regularly has more prisoners than it was designed to hold. One of its cell blocks holds the dubious distinction of being the most populous in the country. As recently as 2010,
Why don't they just extend it? Why don't they just make the prison bigger? Like,
7 inmates were admitted to hospital after guards had to break up a 200-prisoner riot.
whoa.
Number 3, Sing Sing Correctional Facility.
He spent 5 years in Sing Sing. He killed 3 prisoners inside.
Don't let Sing Sing's oddly upbeat name fool you.
I was just thinking that. Sing Sing. It's a really weird name for a prison. Sing Sing.
This prison is one of the most death-ridden institutions in America. Sing Sing's electric chair, nicknamed Old Sparky, has executed over 600 men and women, including
Sparky.
convicted espionage criminals Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, as well as serial killer and cannibal Albert Fish, to name a few
Cannibal.
others. The son of Sam also called Sing Sing home, as did Ruth Brown Snyder, Gary Evans, and bank robber Willie Sutton. Some have tossed around the idea of turning Sing Sing's original cell block, built in 1825, into a museum. We say be careful. You don't know what ghosts will be haunting that place. Number 2, Attica Correctional Facility.
Attica! 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 Attica!
Attica is known for it all. Poor conditions, riots, terrifying inmates, everything. The Supermax prison in New York was home to one of the worst prison
Supermax. I think, is it true? I think for a prison to be labeled a Supermax, everyone's in solitary confinement. Is that correct? I think that's right.
riots in history. In 1971, a full-blown fiasco saw 43 people die, including 10 officers/civilians. Violence inside the prison is so bad that the state installed a tear gas system that covers several of the largest areas of the prison to be used when things get out of hand. Some of Attica's most notorious inmates include El Sayed Nosair, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing terrorist, Sam Melville, also known as the Mad Bomber, and New York mobster Eddie the Butcher. Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'm guessing Red Onion. Red Onion's got to be number one. What the hell? What happened to him?
Number 1. ADX Florence. There was never a question which prison was going to take our top spot. ADX Florence is by far the most notorious and most dangerous prison in America. Colorado's United States Penitentiary Administrative Maximum Facility is home to the worst of the worst and the most deranged of the insane. Let's take a roll call.
God, look at this. Middle of absolutely nowhere. Even if by some miracle you get out of your cell, you get out of the cell block, you get over the fence without getting shot, where are you gonna go? Where are you going to go? Mate, you are stuck there.
Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh? He was here. Soviet spy who sold out FBI agents Robert Hansen? Here. 9/11 Al-Qaeda architect Zacarias Moussaoui? Here. Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev? Here. Unabomber Ted Kaczynski? Yep, he's housed here too. ADX has also been accused of chronic abuse of its prisoners, and many are kept confined for 23 hours each day.
Oh,
do you agree with our picks? Check out these other...
I can't imagine what being locked in your cell, a tiny little cell with no windows, no TV, nothing to do for 23 hours a day. That would destroy me in days. Like, God forbid I ever find myself in a place like that. But, you know, these prisons, it's just, why do people do this sort of stuff? Why can't people just be good? Like, don't, like, man, it just confuses me. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe we should, is the prison system, do you think we can improve it? Like, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.